Are you letting someone else control your life without even noticing? Imagine being a mere side character in someone else's story, a supporting role in their movie, rather than the lead in your own. Sounds frustrating, doesn't it? Well, that's exactly what happens when you let others define your worth and guide your decisions. If you don't take control of your value as a man, you'll find yourself on the losing end every time. By the end of this video, you'll discover how to not only shatter her ego, but also rebuild your own into an unstoppable force. So stick around. This might just be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Welcome to Behavior Insight, where we delve into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to help you master your emotions, elevate your value, and transform your life. Today, we'll uncover 7 powerful rules to reclaim your confidence, establish respect, and rise as a high-value man. Inspired by Stoic philosophy, these principles will teach you how to stay composed, command attention, and live with purpose and strength. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and help us reach 500 likes on this video. Let's get started. 1. Stop chasing validation. Seeking validation is a silent killer of respect. Every time you double text, over-explain your actions, or constantly ask, "Did I upset you?" you're giving away your power. Women aren't drawn to men who seem desperate for approval. They're captivated by those who are self-assured and confident in their own identity. The harsh reality is this: when you look to her for validation, you hand her control over your worth. You're essentially saying, "I need your approval to feel valuable." Not only does this lower your self-esteem, but it also diminishes the respect she has for you. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The approval of others is fickle, unreliable, and temporary." Instead of basing your self-worth on her opinions, start anchoring it within yourself. Stop obsessing over how quickly she replies to your texts or whether she compliments you. Focus on what you stand for as a man. Here's an exercise to try. The next time you feel the urge to seek her validation, pause and ask yourself, why does her opinion matter? Does it change who I am? You'll quickly realize that her view of you only holds weight if you allow it to. By letting go of the need for her approval, you reclaim your power and naturally become more attractive. Confidence that doesn't rely on external validation is magnetic. It's one of the core traits of a high-value man. And once you embody this, you'll notice a shift in how others respond to you. 2. Master the power of silence. Silence is an underappreciated tool that speaks volumes. When used wisely, it becomes a powerful weapon. Picture this. She's upset, expecting you to argue, defend yourself, or overreact. Instead, you stay calm, composed, and silent. This isn't about ignoring her. It's about making a statement, a quiet declaration that says, "I don't need to prove myself to you." Silence works because it's unsettling. Most people are conditioned to expect a reaction, especially during heated moments. When you refuse to engage, it shifts the power dynamic in your favor. As Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "He who controls his emotions controls the situation." But silence isn't just for arguments, it's also a way to create intrigue. Imagine being on a date and letting moments of silence linger instead of rushing to fill them. It creates mystery and an air of authority that's impossible to ignore. To master this, practice being comfortable with silence. Resist the urge to over-explain or justify your actions. Speak only when it adds value, and watch how your words begin to carry more weight. Silence isn't passive, it's intentional. It's the art of staying composed in chaos and communicating strength without saying a word. 3. Build a life that's irresistible. The most attractive men aren't chasing attention, they're chasing purpose. Ask yourself, am I focused on her, or am I focused on building my future? Women are naturally drawn to men who are passionate, driven, and ambitious. A man who's pursuing his goals doesn't just become attractive, he becomes unstoppable. When your life revolves around her, it sends a message. You lack direction. Instead of analyzing her social media or waiting for her to text back, focus on leveling up. Hit the gym, learn a new skill, or dive into a hobby that excites you. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Imagine this. While she's scrolling through Instagram, you're out making moves, reading, improving yourself, and building your empire. That's the kind of man who turns heads and commands respect. When your life is centered on growth and purpose, she won't just notice. She'll wonder how she fits into your world. 4. Set boundaries like a king. Setting boundaries is not just about saying no. It's about defining your worth, communicating self-respect, and demanding the same in return. Every high-value man knows that without boundaries, chaos will inevitably creep into his life. Women, whether consciously or unconsciously, often test boundaries. It's part of human nature to push limits, but the way you respond is what determines whether you're respected or taken for granted. When setting boundaries, the key is to remain calm, composed, and firm. It's not about being argumentative or controlling, but about asserting your values. For example, if she speaks to you in a disrespectful tone, you don't need to shout or retaliate. Instead, calmly state, "I don't appreciate being spoken to like that," or "That's not something I'm okay with." Your calm but firm approach will communicate that you're serious without resorting to emotional reactions. Boundaries also go beyond addressing disrespect. It involves setting limits on your time, energy, and emotional availability. If she's demanding more than you can reasonably give, it's up to you to decide how much is acceptable and to communicate that clearly. People often confuse boundary setting with selfishness, but in reality, it's one of the most selfless things you can do. You're teaching others how to treat you, and in doing so, you're cultivating healthier, more balanced relationships. Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Boundaries are about maintaining control over your reactions, standing firm in your values, and refusing to tolerate anything that compromises your self-worth. When you enforce boundaries with grace and confidence, you project an aura of self-respect that commands admiration. Women respect men who know their worth and refuse to compromise it. 5. Detach emotionally. Emotional detachment is often misunderstood as coldness or indifference, but in reality, it's about maintaining balance and control over your emotions. Many men make the mistake of over-investing emotionally in relationships too quickly, often sacrificing their power and sense of self. When you detach emotionally, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster and regain control over your life. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about someone. It means you stop over-caring to the point where you lose sight of your own well-being. Women respect a man who remains calm and composed even in the face of emotional turbulence. This calmness reflects confidence and self-assurance, traits that are inherently attractive. To detach emotionally, focus on controlling what's within your power, your actions, your reactions, and your mindset. You cannot control how she feels about you or what she does, but you can control how much you allow it to affect you. Instead of obsessing over her responses, her moods, or her actions, redirect that energy toward your own growth. Engage in activities that build your confidence and bring you joy. This doesn't mean you should become emotionally unavailable or unkind. Instead, it means finding a healthy balance. Care for her, but don't let your happiness depend solely on her. Love her, but never at the expense of losing yourself. By maintaining this balance, you create a dynamic where you remain emotionally grounded while keeping her intrigued. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we cannot. When you embrace this mindset, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and become a man who is impossible to manipulate. Emotional detachment is not just a skill, It's a way of reclaiming your power and living life on your own terms. 6. Be unapologetically authentic. In a world full of people trying to fit in, authenticity has become a rare and valuable trait. Most men dilute their opinions or hide their true selves out of fear of rejection or conflict. But women don't respect men who constantly try to please others or conform to their expectations. They admire men who are unapologetically authentic, even if it means standing alone. Being authentic means staying true to your values and beliefs, no matter the circumstances. It's about speaking your mind and living in alignment with who you are, without worrying about whether others will approve. This kind of honesty requires courage, but it's also incredibly liberating. When you stop trying to be someone you're not, you free yourself from the burden of constantly seeking external validation. Women are naturally drawn to men who know who they are and what they stand for. Authenticity communicates confidence, self-respect, and a strong sense of identity. For example, if you have an opinion that differs from hers, don't shy away from expressing it. Respectfully disagreeing shows that you have the confidence to stand by your beliefs, even if it creates discomfort. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." Stop worrying about whether people will agree with you or like you. Focus instead on being the best version of yourself. Authenticity isn't just about being honest with others, it's about being honest with yourself. When you embrace your true self, you become untouchable. You're no longer swayed by the opinions of others because you know your worth. Women respect men who live authentically, and they're naturally drawn to the confidence and strength that comes with it. 7. Break free from your own ego. The final and most important rule isn't about breaking her ego, it's about breaking free from your own. Your ego is the part of you that craves validation, feels threatened by criticism, and constantly compares itself to others. It's what drives insecurity, jealousy, and the need to prove yourself. To become a truly high-value man, you must let go of these destructive traits. Breaking free from your ego means focusing on personal growth, inner peace, and a sense of purpose. It means rising above petty conflicts and learning to operate on a higher level. For example, if she criticizes you or tries to provoke a reaction, don't let your ego take over. Instead, respond with calmness and understanding. This not only demonstrates emotional maturity, but also shows that you're not easily rattled. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you're no longer ruled by your ego, you stop seeking approval or validation from others. Instead, you find fulfillment in your own growth and accomplishments. Letting go of your ego doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means becoming grounded, self-aware, and unshakable. You learn to prioritize what truly matters, your purpose, your peace, and your progress, over fleeting emotions or external opinions. When you break free from your ego, you transcend the games and power struggles that often dominate relationships. You become a man who is confident, composed, and deeply rooted in his sense of self. And that's the kind of man who commands respect and admiration. Thank you for watching today's video on the 7 rules to break her ego and become a high-value man. Remember, true strength comes from mastering your emotions, setting boundaries, and living authentically. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and subscribe to Behavior Insight for more transformative lessons inspired by Stoic philosophy. See you in the next video.